Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dear Tober podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Cass. Here we have Tober in his special army hat today.
And we have a special guest. Can we give a round of applause for Hailey?
Hi, guys.
Today we have Tober's bear missing. We have foxes instead that Hailey gave us for Tober's 1 year. And the time that this is being recorded is Remembrance Day week. So Tober's wearing a hat. And we have a picture of my dad next to Tober, who is currently a member of the army.
Yeah. What division is your dad?
At the moment, I couldn't tell you.
Look at you go, daughter of the year.
I know he was in Special Forces for a while, but he's been bouncing around every few years, so I'm not really sure what he's doing right now, to be honest.
Still super cool, though, that he's part of that community and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go for the armed forces.
Yes. All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about Hailey.
And her point of view of kind of everything that happened leading up to Tober, the day of Tober's birth, and what's been going on since then.
Pretty much, yeah. So, Hailey, you ready?
I mean, as ready as I'll ever be. Let's start. Where should we start?
I think that we should start with the pregnancies, like our pregnancies and how everything like that came to be.
Okay.
Start with our kitchen conversation.
Was it in the kitchen or it was in what was Tori's bedroom where we went and laid on her bed and closed the door so that the guys could go in and hang out on their own. And then we had a deep talk about how I was like, at this time, this is what, 2023?
Probably about that.
Yes. So at this time, I was thinking about having a third, but then I was talking about how scary it is from going from 2 to 3. But then you and I were like, yeah, let's both try for a third baby so that we can go into pregnancy and maternity leave together and just, get to raise our babies together. And we were so excited to do that, but also scared.
We were pumped, though.
Yeah. And then I was pregnant right away. Like, Grant and I tried, and the next month we were pregnant.
Girl, you sneezed and you got pregnant.
Honestly. Like, yeah. It was like, oh, that was almost too fast. It was pretty scary.
Wait, did you sneeze or did Grant sneeze?
Both at the same time.
No, it didn't even have to be that calculated, though. Like, it literally was like, okay, let's, see what happens. And then it happened. And then it was like, we are doing this now. And then it was a month later that you found out that you were pregnant, too, which was in itself a freaking miracle that it happened so fast because you had not had that kind of luck when it came to Amara.
No, but we knew that what we were doing by that point. So we knew that if we wanted to get pregnant, it was jump on the progesterone right away, start a cycle of progesterone. So I think the day that we said we were doing this, I made a doctor's appointment and I was already getting picking up my progesterone and starting that first cycle.
Yeah.
So technically it was the second month that I got pregnant because it was our first round of letrozole.
Yes.
So...
But you guys ended up being pretty close together.
Yeah, we were 3 weeks
close
apart
together. Like, I was due in April, and then she was due in May. Yeah. Like, yeah, so close. And then, I mean, I don't know if you want to speak on what transpired shortly after finding out.
The episode hasn't aired yet, but I've already kind of delved into the miscarriage a little bit. Well, a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I ended up losing the baby second trimester.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of the second trimester. Right as soon as we like kind of stopped holding our breath and we're like, okay, this is happening. Like, we're doing this. We're in the clear. that it was right after you shared on social media too,
Yeah.
that you ended up losing the baby. And from then, I felt so bad because I was like, we were planning on going into this together. And then here I was continuing with my pregnancy. Like, of course, thank God that that was able to go through.
Yeah.
But it wasn't our plan. Like, I had planned to do that with you. And it was heartbreaking that we weren't able to do that together. And I wasn't, out of respect and what I thought was consideration for you, I wasn't talking about my pregnancy anymore. I wasn't sharing anything about it because I was like, how can I share that happiness when I feel like that's rubbing salt in the wound?
But
that
I
is
wanted
freshly
you to
opened?
talk about it.
Yeah. No, like, exactly. You never said anything that made me feel like I couldn't. This is like my own internal voice saying, no, you need to keep this to yourself because you don't want to resurface these negative feelings that you might have going through this. Or like, I didn't want you to feel envious that I was still carrying when it was like, it was almost both of us.
You were also going through all the pregnancy milestones when it should have been
The
two of you going
us.
through
Yeah.
them.
Exactly.
So like certain ultrasounds and the gender and all that, right? So
Well,
Yeah.
actually, when I had ordered my gender reveal test, my early gender reveal test, Hailey was going to do one too.
Yeah.
But then she had opted not to because we were like that much closer to her gender ultrasound anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to be finding out in like 5 weeks from when you had taken the test. So I was like, no, I'm just going to wait and see.
it's like a month apart.
Yeah.
Sometimes too, you can see earlier on if it's a boy. For Silas, I found out at like 14 weeks. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very
This
true.
Little dude had his package hanging
Oh,
out
yeah.
right there.
he was showing off that day. His legs were like spread eagle.
Funny
Yeah.
thing is, nothing's really changed in that
No.
regard.
He's carried
Still
that
have to tell
personality
him to
with
pull his
him.
pants up. Yeah. So I don't know. I just felt really conflicted trying to celebrate and share the different milestones in pregnancy when it was like, what's something is celebrating for me? It's like it should have been celebrated for the both of us. And that was hard. That was
Well,
really hard.
I can imagine that it was hard for you.
Well, I mean, I was probably like too self-aware maybe on how it might be for you. And that's why I was like, nope, just keep everything to yourself. And it wasn't until the very end of my pregnancy when I was having issues that I was like, Sarah, I don't know what to do. And then sure enough, you were like, you need to go to the hospital. And so I did. And then I didn't end up going home without a baby that day. Like you were like, go to the hospital. And I had her that night.
I knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah. In an emergency C-section, just like my first. And then my second was planned. So, yeah. And then after, I mean,
I guess a few months before you had Nora is when I became
You came
pregnant.
up to us, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. You were like, wait, I'm pregnant. And it was like, excuse me. This is not who I thought I was going to do my pregnancy with. But this is very exciting because now we get to celebrate 2 little ones joining the friend group and at least still having like more babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would have become 9 and 10, I guess. It would have been 9, 10, and 11 for kids in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like at that time, you and I, like we were friends, but we still weren't like super close or anything.
Yeah, like I had you on Facebook for a while because you knew
Because of-
Silas's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, I mean, I started seeing you at like the friends' party and the girls' birthday parties.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we were like super close, but I think when we ended up pregnant at the same time is when we like kind of slowly started getting closer because
Yeah.
we were experiencing pregnancy together.
Exactly, yeah. And then it was like at the summer party when you were like, hey, can I hold Nora? Because Nora was like, what?
Just a couple months old.
Few months old.
3 months old, maybe.
Oh, I was dying because I just love babies.
I don't even think it was the summer party. I think it was the Canada Day thing.
Maybe it was. No.
Because you guys came over for Canada Day, and then you guys also came over like 2 weeks after for the summer.
It might
You know
have
what? That
been
makes
both.
sense. That makes sense because Nora was like a little potato. She was
Yeah.
just a bean at that point.
She sat right on my stomach.
Yeah, yeah. Because Cass was like 6 months pregnant at this time,
And I was popping.
yeah, you
You're
were like,
tiny.
"Can
so,
I
like,
hold your baby?" And I was like, "Yeah, here you go." Like
No
I'm always
hesitation,
holding
you're
my
like,
baby.
yeah. Yeah.
And then I was getting to watch you with her, and then like seeing you with your like belly, and I was like, "Okay, like this is gonna be so sweet." Seeing them grow up together
Yeah.
and just getting closer with you. And then when it came to like your baby shower, it was like, okay, yeah, like I don't care that I have to have like my baby in tow. I'm coming and we're showing up. Did the thing.
We're doing the damn thing, guys.
Exactly. I was like, why wouldn't I make that effort for somebody? And then yeah, I mean, you guys already touched on in one of the episodes how you didn't have a way to the hospital. I mean, you had a way, but it was the bus and it was for 4 hours. And I was like, no, I'm going to meet you at the ferry in the morning because you were working. And I was like, okay. I think I asked you, I was like, Sarah, how is Cass getting there? And you told me busing. And I was like,
I had a
that's
meeting that
impossible.
morning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't ditch the meeting. And then, because I think that was around the time that I was joining the HR team.
Yep.
And so while I was joining that team, I didn't have much of a choice to at least show up for those meetings.
Yeah.
Also, the day that I ended up going in for the C-section was not the day we originally planned.
No.
The day was supposed to be on the 30th.
Yeah.
So these last minute plans came together within 48 hours. And so, yeah, we couldn't really like work around your meeting. They wanted me in quick. So it was kind of like, we'll do what we can.
Yeah, actually, because I remember in like the chat, you were like,
Yes, I
you
was
were like,
telling
oh,
you
I'm
guys.
supposed to go in on this day, and then it was like, guys, the plan, I'm having him tomorrow, and we were like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like Cass said in an earlier episode, this is not the plan.
Yeah,
It was so not the plan.
It
Oh my
wasn't.
gosh. But I mean, it worked out that morning.
it did. You were like, the hospital wants me there for 9, and I was like, okay, I'm dropping the kids at 8:30. I'm gonna be there at like 8:40, and we are going.
We ended up walking into the like birthing unit at 9:30.
Yeah,
So we weren't far off. And that's like trying to look for parking and everything too.
and being in traffic.
Yeah.
Like traffic
wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
it was
Yeah.
in our favor that day, I swear. But yeah, it was good. And then we talked about like life with multiples because that was you starting your journey with more than one, and I had already had my 3 in tow at that point, and Nora was with us at the hospital too. So
Oh, I loved that because it was like, we have this baby here with us to bring in a new one.
yeah,
And they're both in our like little circle.
she's like onboarding the next
Yeah.
person. Like, okay, I'm gonna be there with you.
Her being there made me more excited. Cause I mean, I was nervous, but at the same time, like, just having little Nora, I was like, oh my god.
Nora makes everybody excited, though.
Yeah. Nora's
Yeah.
such like, I don't even know what it is about her. Just
It's the cheeks. They're full of love.
I think it's the little cheekies, but she just feels like such a light.
Yeah.
She is.
She's like a little ball of sunshine.
But she is our little light because she's our 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, I found out after naming her and everything that, like, Nora in, I can't remember what language it is, but actually means, like, divine light. And I was like,
Really?
yeah,
So her
dude.
name
It
is
was
so
divine
meant
light.
to
And I was
be.
like, holy shit. Like, this, yeah, I can,
couldn't
no
have named her
words.
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then we, waited at the hospital, and we got to hear Tober's heartbeat, which was so cool. And we were like, okay, it's getting real.
It's cool to hear someone else's, right? Because, I mean, obviously when you hear a baby's heartbeat, it's normally your own baby. But, yeah,
Yeah.
to hear
Yeah,
someone
exactly. I
else's,
was like,
kinda
it's nice to have been able to share that with you because, like, obviously it wasn't the plan for me to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, okay, I feel like it's more intimate for our friendship
Yeah,
too.
I usually
that I got to share that
say,
with you.
like, yes, we started getting closer before that, but I feel like that was kind of the day the bond really solidified
Yeah.
because of the chats in the car, but then just getting to hear his heartbeat together and going through prep together.
Yeah.
Nora being there.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing. Yeah. And then you being there later too. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember because, we weren't so close. And I knew that you and, like, Sarah, like, don't touch each other. Like, you guys don't hug each other. But Cass was, like, getting her IV and she was about to. And I was like, Cass, do you want me to hold your hand? Like, I was like, can we hold hands?
And I was
you
kind
were
of like, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. Like, you know, Nora was sleeping in the bed or in her stroller next to you. And then, yeah, we were holding hands. And I was like, it's going to be okay.
Look at us. We're so cute.
Disgusting.
Right?
It was.
Like, gross. But also, like, I was happy to have someone there to, like, get me through the prep because that's also nerve-wracking waiting to go in. Yeah.
It is.
And then Sarah got there and we were just like, and then it was like, it felt like as soon as you got there, things were happening. Because before, Cass and I were kind of sitting there like, where are the nurses?
Yeah, like, are they going to come and check again? Like, check me again?
Exactly.
I remember, I mean, for Silas was different. It ended up being an emergency C-section, but they had this stuff hooked up to the belly the whole time.
Exactly. And that's what I remember for my pregnancies too.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking, like, why isn't
aren't I
the heart monitor on your belly?
Yeah.
But
there
I didn't
was
think
somebody
twice.
else in the room with us, though. And I don't remember if she was hooked up to a belly monitor or not.
I don't know.
I don't even
because
think
the
I
curtain
saw
was up.
her. Yeah,
there was
exactly.
like a divider, so we couldn't actually see each other.
Yeah.
But we could tell there was someone else over there. The only time I actually got to see her was when I got up to use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So all I remember from that is her being blonde.
Yeah.
But I mean, you would think that if she would have been attached, we would have heard like the...
Yeah, I don't think either of us were. I don't know if it's because it was planned C-sections.
Maybe.
That's possible.
Right? Like I said, Silas was an emergency, so I was hooked up because I had been in labor already.
Yeah.
So...
And, like, from the point where we, like, walked in the hospital, I started, like, taking photos. Just, like,
there's one of me standing at the counter checking in.
Yeah. And then, like, Nora's, like, I think at the bottom of that photo. Because I was just like, yeah, I'm going to document this. Because this is, you know, Cass doesn't have a partner to do that for her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know I would have loved that for myself. Or, like, I'm just sure everyone would have loved that walking into their pregnancy. So I was like, yeah, let's document this from, like, beginning to end. And now I'm, like, in hindsight... so glad that I did, but it's also like looking back on those photos brings on some feelings because it's like that was before the innocence of everything was ripped away because we didn't know, and like everything was fine at that point.
The photos were like we're all smiling a lot. There's one with Yumi, Sarah, and Nora where I'm in the hospital bed in my gown. Sarah's in her scrubs already. So that must have been like
That was right before you went in.
Before I went in. And yeah, I mean, all the photos.
We were so happy.
Big smile. So excited.
We look like these bright-eyed, like young...
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah.
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 And then you look at the pictures that the photographer took afterwards, and we don't even look like the same people.
No, because it was like... I mean, one, it's kind of traumatizing. I think I've mentioned
just a little bit
in a past episode about when someone goes through trauma, their eyes look different, and so do their face. And I think for months afterward, I tried to avoid looking in the mirror because I couldn't even recognize myself.
Oh, 100%. I relate to that.
Yeah.
100%.
Obviously, we got the photos from the photographer, which were great. But I love that you took so many too, because it's almost like the behind the scenes of when we took photos.
Yeah.
And then it's also more like real raw moments because obviously the photographer staged the photos and then edited them a little so he didn't look discolored or anything. But I also really love the photos you took, even though he's purple and we're wiping the mucus off his nose and whatever, because those moments were super real and raw too.
Yeah.
And even though they can be hard to look at, I also still really enjoy looking at them, because I find a lot of them I was still smiling, and it was almost like I kind of looked peaceful.
You did.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, given the circumstances, you very much looked peaceful, but also like you were like surrendering and accepting what had already happened.
Yeah, I think it was just I was happy to still just get to hold him.
Yeah.
And spend time with him. Because, I don't know, it was almost like I thought in those situations you don't get to. Like, you don't get to see the baby, you don't get to hold them. So for me, it was like, this is great. I'm holding him, I'm loving on him, everyone else is loving on him and holding him.
Yeah.
But also, I think it was accepting the changes that, accepting the things that you can't change.
Yeah.
Which, like, yeah, was super hard. Like, right when you went in to, when they were like, okay, like, you're prepped, the room is prepped, you're going in for your C-section now, you were zipped away. And then Sarah and I were chatting there for like, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, like, they're probably going to pull you in soon. So Nora and I are gonna head out. I'm gonna go to Grant's work, and then I'm gonna go and pick up my kids, but then I'll be back at the hospital later. Mm-hmm. And I think we had already decided then that we were getting nuggets.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
actually,
I'm coming back with those nuggets.
Too.
Yeah, I was like, what is the first meal that you want after you deliver? And you were like, chicken nuggets. I was like, bet, I'll make that happen. So
that was my first meal after Silas too, was McDonald's.
Oh, I love that. And I messaged you too, and I was like, what do you want for your order?
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had already established that. And then I was at Grant's work for a while, and I texted Sarah to check in because I was like, okay, like, I think it was like 150 or something at this point. Might have been, no, I think it was before. But I was like, you know, how's everything going? And then you had texted me, and I literally like was so dumbfounded with what you said that I was like, but yeah, they're still like working on him, right? Like, they're still bringing him back. And you were like, no, Hailey, like, it didn't happen. Like, he's not coming back.
I think I was talking to you about it too before even Cass really clicked into what was going on.
Yes, yeah, because you had said, like, I don't know what to do because I don't even know if Cass knows. And like, you were still kind of playing the guessing game too, I think, because
I think
hadn't
like,
said.
I knew.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, it hadn't been
Told.
confirmed.
Yeah.
The doctor hadn't spoken to us really yet. But, I mean, I knew in here, like, when I saw those codes and then I had walked into the room and I saw Cass on the table and I asked the nurse, and the answer that she gave, like, I was doing the math, and the math was equaling that Tober wasn't making it.
Yeah. And yeah.
Unfortunately, I was right.
I remember, like, Nora was sleeping in the van and I was still at Grant's work, but I just sat there bawling, and I called him back in to see me and then told him what happened. He was shocked. He was like, you know, this isn't normal. That's not what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That doesn't happen. That's never happened to anyone I know.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. I don't even even now, it's been a year and I don't have the words to describe the feeling of finding that out.
Well, yeah, I think it's one thing when it's expected. It's obviously still sad, but you have more time to prepare yourself. And then a whole other thing when it's like, you think you're going to be coming back to the hospital to see the baby and hold the baby.
To love on this new baby.
A living baby. I mean, you still got to love on him, but yeah, so.
And like, we had heard his heartbeat, literally 2 hours before. So it was just like immediate, like, holy crap. Like, I was one of the last people with you to have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, what do you mean? Like, his heartbeat, everything was fine.
Yeah, it was perfectly fine. Yeah. My vitals, his vitals, heartbeat, my heartbeat.
So it was just like, yeah. So after, it was like, okay, how do I go and pick up my kids? And go home putting my baby to bed, knowing that, like, when I just walked into that hospital with my friend and her, what, you know, now I'm walking back in there, like, okay, how do I go and pick up my kids, pretending to be okay, and, like, knowing that, yeah, I get to go home to all my babies being safe and alive, when that was just taken from, like, my friend who I just shared that with. Like, I just walked into the hospital with you, got to listen to his heartbeat 2 hours before. And then now that wasn't, like, you know, we were expecting to go back to the hospital, getting to love on Tober. And we still did, just in a different way. But it was very hard to be like, well, how come this happened to her?
Yeah. I haven't actually asked anyone yet. I guess you're technically our first guest for people who came to the hospital. But what was it like having to go back into the birthing unit and asking, like, what room to go to? Like, did the nurses kind of look at you like they all knew what was going on?
As soon as I said your name, they said, like, they knew what room to
So
point me
I'm sure
to.
it was like
So it definitely had made its way around the nursing station for sure.
Yeah.
Did they look at you with sadness or?
Honestly, I don't even remember. Probably.
I mean, for me,
but I don't
everything's
remember.
kind of a blur, so.
Yeah. I mean, I remember walking into that room and seeing you holding him, and your mom was there, your dad, your stepmom, Silas's dad, Sarah, of course.
Yeah.
And then you immediately, like, I was holding the nuggets, but I'm crying already. And then you were like, yeah, do you want to hold him? And I was just like, yes, like, put them down. And then it was like, I'm still sanitizing my hands to hold him. Like, I don't know what to do. And then it was, yeah, looking at his sweet, perfect, beautiful face that was like, what do you mean?
I think a lot of people, when they get to, like, hold their baby and stuff, they've already been passed away for a while. So by the time they come out, they're not so perfect looking. But for Tober, it had just happened 2 hours before. So, yeah, he looked
like he was ready to open his eyes.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like holding Tober and then seeing his gorgeous, beautiful face. And then suddenly seeing, like, something drip out of his nose. It was just like, I was already crying really hard at that point. But it was like, I didn't even know how to react to that. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, and you guys were like, yeah, you just gotta wipe it away. It's okay. And I was like, this is not okay, you guys.
I guess because it had already been a couple hours.
Yeah,
right?
you guys had already.
Delirious.
By the time I was back, I think it was like 6:00. So you guys already had like 5 hours with him. And then I got to hold him for like, I don't know, I think it was like an hour and a half before I was like, wait, do you want to? And then that's when the photographer came.
Yeah. Well, I remember, I think you were one of the people that were like, are you sure you want to let me hold him? And I'm like, well, yeah, like, you're all here to love on him too.
Yeah.
Like, you can love on me after, right? Like, we all get to go home after, but he doesn't. So everyone should get that chance to hold him, especially, like, you know, you and my dad and my stepmom, because you guys were going to be the first ones to leave, right? My mom and Sarah and I were going to be there all night, so we would have extra time, and we already did have time.
Yeah.
So, of course, yeah, I was like, hold him, yeah, love him. I mean, he's freaking heavy. I need a break anyway.
Like, I wanted to, 100%. Like, I went in there knowing that I wanted to, but I also was very aware of the situation. It's like, okay, even though you have however long with him, I was like, that's still taking time away from you to be able to hold him and carry him, you know, in this form. So I wanted to make sure that was okay with you.
Yeah.
But I was so grateful that you let me, because I really wanted to.
Were you scared at all to hold him?
I mean, I don't know if scared is the right word.
Nervous.
Because, you know, it's still like you're holding a baby at that point. But it's like I didn't realize how deeply that would like ingrain on me and like my psyche, or just afterwards. Like, I don't know, for months after the fact, I swear I would like close my eyes at night. Like, you knew how bad my sleeping issues had gotten after. And I would like close my eyes and I'd be back in that room holding him. And it was like, well, if it's this bad for me, like, how bad is it for Cass and Sarah? And then like I could still like feel the weight in my arms of him holding him too. But I was also like, I don't want to forget that because I'll never get to hold him like that again.
Yeah. I mean, the older we get, obviously, the more the memories are going to fade. But yeah, actually, I remember there was one day, I'm going to get emotional. So there was one day I was waiting at the bus stop for Sai. And I remember thinking, like, that I should be, like, holding Tober at the bus stop, waiting for Silas. And suddenly, like, my arms just felt so, like, heavy because they were empty, but also light because they were empty. And I remember, like, wrapping my arms around myself and just being, like, wanting to, like, hold him instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally get that. The, like, feeling like that weight, but also, like, not in your arms.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, even walking out of that hospital that night was so hard because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna see him again like that.
Yeah.
But that's also why I was like, hey, the photographer came, she took enough photos, but I was like, after she left, I was like, hey, Cass, or I don't even know if I used your phone or if it was Cass's phone.
It was mine. Yeah, I have them all in there.
But I was like, yeah, can one of you guys hand me your phones? Because my phone isn't that good. And I need to take, like, that many more just to make sure that you had everything. Because that's at that point, we knew that you weren't going to be getting the photos for, I think she said, like, a couple weeks. They ended up being very fast.
They ended up saying, I think it was going to be, like, 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, if we didn't take our own photos, then I wouldn't have any photos to look back on. But yeah, I know you took lots. You took some videos too. So that was nice too because obviously, like I said, the older we get, the more the memories are going to fade. So eventually I'm not really going to remember
every minute detail.
Yeah. So having the video was kind of nice too, right? See what we were doing and like.
I felt like it kind of captured the mood of the room too. Like.
There is one picture that the photographer took that I think is haunting to this day. And that is the picture of all of our hands on him. Because you can see my watch so clearly in it.
Yeah.
The
time
it has
of
the
day.
date and the time.
Yeah.
And everything that picture.
Yeah.
It just feels like that moment stands still forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I look at that picture, I think because it's all there, like all of us,
Everyone
him,
who was there,
the time,
who's there.
everything.
Yeah.
It's just so ingrained that it almost comes off as like jarring.
Yeah.
To look at that picture.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Like, I think you had pointed that out, like, I don't know, within the weeks afterwards. And when we'd seen it, we were like, what? Like, yeah, the world just stood still at that point.
That's exactly it. It's like time stood still for that one moment. And like, when I look at that picture, I go right back to that moment right there where we're just like all standing there crying together with our hands on him. And yeah.
I mean, looking back at any of the photos, I definitely feel that way too, where it's just like, it's not something like, yes, over time things will kind of blur, but at the same time, this was such a profound moment, I think, in all of our lives that it's like, how could we forget any of it?
Well, we also talked about it kind of at my birthday dinner where it's kind of caused a trauma bond in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where it might not be necessarily the exact definition of what a trauma bond is or what people think of when they think trauma bond, but at the same time,
We
it
were,
is.
yeah, we were bonded by sharing this trauma together.
Yeah. And just like the experience beforehand too, like at the hospital, getting everything ready, right? Because it was us three.
Yeah.
And then after, you know, three of us were there again. And, you know, obviously there's other people, but it's always kind of felt like us three, and kind of continued after that too, right? Like I've talked to my mom a lot. I've shared a lot with her. You know, we call each other like 3 times a day. But
Yeah.
you also just, I find you automatically talk to your friends more than you talk to your parents.
They're different conversations.
Yeah. I think for me, it feels like maybe sharing more with you guys, because I know obviously you guys struggle too, but I feel like with my mom, she's struggled very openly also, and I think her grief has been very loud like mine, and so I almost don't want to share as much with her because I don't want to make it worse for her, right? Because she's going through it and seeing me go through it, which is making it worse.
Yeah.
So then if I put more on her, then it's like, okay, she's already struggling enough.
Yeah.
So.
And I, like, in the days and weeks after this all had happened, that's kind of how I felt about sharing that with the both of you, because I was like, you are Tober's godmom. And you being Tober's mom, I was like, how am I to come to them with my grief when I was battling with myself, wondering if I was even in the right to feel as sad as I felt? Like, because I was like, okay, we weren't as close up until like
That
very
day.
shortly before and like basically that day.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, I don't know if I don't think I get to feel the way I feel. It's not right for me to. Like, this is reserved for the people that were like very intimate in your life.
I have a lot of people that message me still telling me like how touched they are by it, and I haven't even seen them. Like, they didn't come to the celebration of life because they weren't able to, and I haven't actually seen them in person since before he was born.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still so touched by it.
Yeah.
And they have hard days just thinking about it and like thinking about us and stuff. So yeah, being there, like that alone is enough for you to go through the grief of it too, and to feel the way you do. Like, just being there and seeing it all, just like the nurses, right?
Yeah.
They didn't know us personally, but they had to see it. They had to be the ones to tell us or take care of us after, and to take care of him. So
and from what I saw of that team, like, they were phenomenal.
mm-hmm.
They were so compassionate and so lovely. Like, yeah. But yeah, so after, it was like I didn't want to come to you with my own grief on it, because I was like, again, like, if this is how I'm feeling, I'm losing sleep over thinking of him and you constantly over it. I was like, how are they even powering through the day? But
Not well.
yeah, for real,
With
none of us
caffeine
were.
that I don't drink.
Yeah. Pure rage and spite for
Literally.
life. I ended up actually, so I had a therapist for a while who gave me the advice to, I don't know, how to like set my room up in order to help me sleep better. So I had a sound machine and a night light and a projector and plants, and, you know, made up my bed a certain way. And I mean, it helps, but yeah, like, you lose sleep, and I still go through it sometimes. I think the last few days have been like particularly rough. I've started using my sound machine for the first time in months again.
Yeah.
My room's like lit up. Like, it's not very dark in there.
No, because you sleep on the couch and I see those little twinkly Christmas lights behind you every night.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of lights and sounds and stuff just to kind of ease the silence and like the darkness
Yeah.
of the room to be able to sleep. But like that comes and goes in waves too. So I mean, yeah, that's grief, I guess.
I think that's kind of been the slogan of grief is waves.
Waves and it coming and going.
It
And
comes in, it goes out. It's never the same wave.
Yeah.
It's forever changing. I think that's the best way, because even though you feel like it's all consuming one day, the next day it can feel all consuming, but it's never the same.
no, it's like different levels and for different reasons, I guess. I think sometimes it's just being sad about the whole situation, and sometimes it's wishing he were here, and sometimes it's just too damn quiet in here and there should be a baby, and you know,
There should be somebody getting into everything with
Yeah,
Nora at
exactly.
get-togethers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, sometimes it's just, yeah, like thinking of Nora's milestones and how he should be doing the same thing. And then, you know, sometimes it is seeing other babies and just, oh, like, I wish I was like on the way to drop mine off to daycare right now, or, you know, still on maternity leave or whatever I would have been doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's always something different.
Yeah. It felt like hard to like, yeah, share, like just similar to how I felt with your loss, because I still got to proceed with having Nora. It felt very hard to talk and celebrate like Nora's milestones with you guys, because it was like, well, there was supposed to be another. There was supposed to be two others, and mine is the only one who's here. And like I can't imagine not having her here. But it was like, why did it happen to the both of them when this was supposed to be the three of us? And so, yeah, I didn't share Nora's stuff. One thing I did gain, though, like, of course, sleep deprivation was so hard. And it's already a challenge with having yeah, a newborn and then having two other kids on top. I feel like I was able to deal with it very well. But shortly before everything happened with Tober, I did feel the sleep deprivation like start to weigh on me, and I was like less, I don't know, energetic. Like felt like right before everything happened with Tober, like Nora was 6 months, and like sleep deprivation, waking up every like 2 or 3 hours was starting to weigh down on me, and I was like getting tired of it almost. But then after Tober, it literally changed the chemistry in my brain, because I was like able to look at it now as I get to wake up with my baby. I get to do that. And not everybody gets to. And it was like someone who's now very close to me doesn't get to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, that got me through up until like when she started sleeping through the night. There was never a night or morning or any of her sleep wakes that I would wake up and be like, ugh, because every single time, like, I was like, I get to do this. And I'm so happy that I do.
The thing about that too is like, so, I mean, Tober obviously passed away, but then I still had to go home and deal with all the postpartum stuff, right? Which was also really hard, thinking like I still have to go through all this and not even have a baby to show for it. So there is that motherly instinct of just naturally waking up thinking like you have to get to your baby, or you got to check on the baby, or like you should be doing certain things. And obviously like your milk coming in, and yeah, I don't know, just like those hormones that start to like kick in, right?
It was almost like a crude like awakening for you, I'm sure, to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, here I am dealing with all these, you know, kind of crappy parts of being postpartum. I'm bleeding. I feel like awful. My body feels sore, but then I don't even get to have like the reward.
Exactly. Yes, the reward. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But then after, like, we came here, Nora and I, to see you guys, I don't know, maybe a week after
It was
everything
when we
happened.
went to empty Cass's apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the next weekend.
Yeah. When we went to go and take it down the nursery. Despite everything, like, you were like, I don't want to say clear-eyed, but you were still there. You were still chugging through, and you were presentingly okay. And you were still, like, so excited to hold Nora, and it was still, like, that hurt me, but it made me happy that she could bring that, you know, sense of fulfillment to you.
We talked about that, I think, in maybe the last episode. For certain babies, I've been totally fine. Like, seeing them, holding them, seeing their pictures, hearing about their milestones. And it's more so the ones in our little circle. So Nora and Caleb. And then for anyone else's baby, I'm just like,
no,
I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want you to tell me about it.
Well, it felt like after Tober, like, you knew, like, 5 or 6 people that got pregnant, like, within, like, 4 months after.
I feel like it's been every week at least.
Yeah.
I saw one again recently. You know, and it's a lot of people I went to high school with are having their first, or their first is a year old and they're announcing their second. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I just chose to have a baby right at that ripe age where everyone's doing it, right? With Silas, I didn't know that many people because we were still pretty young. I was 23. And now it's all the time. And I'm like, my God.
Yeah.
I love that for myself.
Even at my age group,
Yeah.
because I'm a little bit older than you guys, there's still people popping them out left and right.
A lot of people have them older now. Just the cost of living and how expensive it is to have one kid, right? So
That's true. I feel like this year I've seen a lot of, like, people I went to high school with, but in the years prior, like, yeah, there was, like, 2 other people in high school that I knew had babies around the same time that I did.
Yeah.
Like, I had Raiden at 20 and then Tori at 22.
So still young, right?
Yeah.
Just like Silas when I was 23. Like, a lot of people weren't really doing that yet. People are still figuring themselves out. I'm still figuring myself out.
Yeah.
Technically, I've had 2 kids now, so, you know, a lot of people tried to do that before having kids, so I guess we just
couldn't wait.
Yeah.
No, we're too busy getting freaky.
Yeah. Freaky deaky.
Yeah.
So, I guess a good question now would be, a year's passed. Where do you sit now with your feelings?
Well, I think that we've had many more conversations since, like, as the time has gone on, it has felt easier to talk about it with both of you guys. Like, we've talked about it, we've cried about it, we've, like, yelled about it. Like, not at each other, but but, like, you know, we've all been like, you know, why? We'd have, like, I don't know, when in the early days I would randomly message you at, like, 3 a.m. because I'd see you were online. I'd be like, yo, you can't sleep, and you'd be like, yeah, like, I just had a meltdown, and I'm like, okay, I'm here if you need anything.
I still do that. It's almost every night I wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
And
3 a.m. is...
At first, for a while, I'd be up for, like, hours at a time, and then I'd go back to sleep. Or when Silas was in school, wake up, get him ready, put him on the bus. I'd go to bed. I'd sleep till it was time to get him off the bus. And then we would just kind of sit around. Like, I wouldn't actually do that much with him. I feel like I've had a lot of guilt surrounding my parenting with Silas since then, because I've always done lots with him. Games and puzzles, crafts. Yeah. And, like, obviously I've gotten back to it, but I think for a while there we weren't doing a whole lot. And I almost felt like he just shouldn't even be here at my house because we're not doing much together other than watching TV. But I mean, without him, I probably wouldn't have been here either, right? So,
Yeah.
like, having him there kept me going, and even if it was just sitting around, at least we were together, so.
Absolutely. And, like, I don't think he'd have it any other way either. Like, sure, you weren't able to show up as your best self for him, but, like, you still showed up.
Yeah.
You were still there, and he also got to see. Like, Sai was 4.
Yeah.
But he got to see and learn that compassion and be like, yeah, my mom is struggling, and I love my mom so much.
You know, for all his craziness and annoyingness and silliness, I mean, behind closed doors, he is
The biggest sweetheart.
so sweet, so compassionate, and so empathetic. It's kind of crazy to think. There's, you know, been times where I set up a movie night for us so that I don't have to do anything. I don't have to get up, and he's laying on the couch next to me, holding me while I'm crying, holding my hand and telling me it's fine, and that everything's gonna be okay, and that he'll get up and get me whatever I want. So he shares his candies, and a lot of the time since, actually, he'll randomly bring me a Pepsi, and he's like, you look like you need this.
That's so funny. But, like, so sweet that here he is, like,
yeah,
anticipating your needs.
Yeah, and he just...
trying to be there, trying to take care of his mom.
And it's funny because I've noticed he'll do things that I do for him when he's sad, when he's crying. I'll hold his hand and stroke his hand. He does that to me now. He rubs my hair. Like, I run my fingers through his hair. And when I, like, hold him close to me, I usually, like, shush him in his ear like I used to when he was a baby. I still do it, and it calms him from crying. So now he gets super close to me and he tries to do it.
That's so sweet, though.
That is.
So, I mean, when it counts.
He knows when you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, in those moments he can really tell when I'm struggling hard. And so I find myself a lot of the time getting up when I know he's asleep, just so I can go look at him and kind of just admire his calmness and cuteness and stuff.
Because when he's sleeping, that's the only time you're going to get that calmness.
Funny enough, I was actually at her place like a week ago, and he's in bed, super nice and quiet, and I walked into the room, and I'm like, you know, I could deal with this. He's super cute right now. And I was so scared that he was going to open up an eye and just, like, look at me, and it was going to ruin it.
No, he's a pretty solid sleeper.
Thank God.
Honestly. There's one specific moment that stands out. We've had this a few times where he's upset for some reason. He's sitting on the bathroom floor, and he asks me to go get Tober's urn. He calls it his box. It's like, I need Tober's box so that he can talk to him and give him kisses and stuff. But there was one time we were sitting there on the bathroom floor together, and he kind of looks at me and he's like, you know, Mom, this is really peaceful, isn't it? And I'm like, how do you even know what that means and to use it in the right context? But I was like, yeah, you're right, buddy. This is peaceful. It's quiet. It's calm. And we're both just sitting here on the floor with him and having a moment. And it, doesn't sound like it would be peaceful, but it is. But he, for a while, he went through a phase where he wanted to have Tober next to him. He's eating, he's coloring, he's playing games. Tober's next to him. He's in bed at night. Tober's on the ledge next to him. He wants him in bed with him, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's too close. But yeah, that's kind of why I've liked sleeping in the living room lately. He's got a whole shrine going, and his urn is there, so I feel close.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's how Sai wanted to just feel like
close.
Doing all these things with him was just like to feel close to him too.
Like he was doing it with him.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute that he still wants to hold that like sibling relationship so close.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say he's an only child, so he shouldn't really understand what a sibling relationship is, logically speaking. But I guess seeing our friend group and everything, he does get to see how they interact with their siblings.
Yeah.
Because really, he's the only child.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I mean, you know, there's only so much I was able to prepare him for that sibling relationship, just explaining to him how things were going to be. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just seeing our friend group or seeing his cousins. Because everyone around him has siblings. Our friends, his family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. He's the only child.
Yeah.
But here he is still taking it upon himself to be like, I still want to do these things with my brother, even if it looks different from other people.
Yeah. And he's so not shy about it. I think that's kind of the amazing thing with kids is that they're loud about everything. They're loud about their grief. They're loud about the way they do things. They're loud in general.
I was going to say
In
he's
general.
loud, period.
Yeah.
Period.
But that carries through in all other aspects of his personality. He's just loud about everything. And I really hope he doesn't lose that.
So funny that we're talking about kids being loud because just the other day, Amara told her teacher that I got my period.
Oh my
wow.
God.
I love that. Well, there was that whole story I told you guys about Silas getting 2 cookies at Halloween, and he wanted to give one to his brother.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so I straight up said to him in front of the other daycare people, well, how do you think he's going to do that? How do you think he's going to eat it? I think it's just so normal for us to talk about it in that way that it's almost like I forget other people don't know or they wouldn't understand our humor.
Yeah.
But Silas was like, well, I'll put it on his box. He can eat it while he's in heaven. And I'm like, okay, sure then, I guess. We've done that before. And some little girl walks up to us and goes, Silas, where is your brother? And he looks at her and he's like, he's dead. He went to heaven. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's okay. I don't even know how to backpedal that one.
Yeah.
So I just told him, there's a nicer way to say things, you know? He passed away and he went to heaven. He's like, well, like,
That means dead.
yeah, that means dead.
I
That's why he's in
remember.
heaven. He died. And I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing.
Mar does the same thing though. Like
Yeah.
Mar had a conversation with Sai not long ago, and they were looking at Tober's picture on the wall, and Amara was like, "Yeah, Silas's brother is dead," and I was like, "Amara, like, can we
Be more
use a
sensitive.
little bit of tact in this conversation?"
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. It was like, well, what? It's true. He's dead.
Silas was probably like, well, she's not wrong.
It's so interesting because, like, Mar and Sai are months apart. Like, they're
They're
3 months apart. Yeah, 3
Yeah.
months apart. Whereas Tori's 1 year older than them, and Tori's my middle kid. But I feel like both of mine have been very sensitive about even talking about Tober, where, like, I don't know, they wouldn't just be like, Tober's dead. They'd
Tori's
just
been
be like,
so, I don't know, so sensitive.
She
and
is
it's so
sensitive.
sweet.
She's sweet.
Yeah.
She's
You know,
kind.
the way she even holds Tober's bear.
yeah,
and loves
she
on
always,
his bear.
for now, even now, like, it's been the year, and she always asks if Tober is going to be there.
Yeah.
Or if Tober's urn is going to be wherever we are. And I'm like, yep. And then last time at Sarah's birthday, how Raiden was like, I'm going to make these origami foxes for Auntie Cat. Well, first he was like, is Auntie Cat's going to be there? And I was like, yeah, of course she is. And then he's like, okay, like, I have something for her. Can you give it to her? And I was like, yeah. And then he shows me the 3 origami foxes. And he even said, he was like, I made 3 because it's Auntie Cass, it's Silas, and it's Tober. And I was like, oh my God.
I put them in
Like,
Tober's little box of items and
Yeah.
the sticker from Tori too. The little fox sticker. I was like, I kind of want to put it on something, but I also don't want to put it on anything. That way I can actually keep it. Because stickers are going to wear eventually and get thrown out. But if I kept it on its little paper, then I could just put it in his box.
Yeah. I do remember, like, in the few months after Tober had passed, though, or maybe it wasn't even the few months, but when grief was, like, still so heavy, like, every single day, they'd see me crying, like, all the time. And then at that point, I remember Tori would say, like, is it because Tober is dead? And I'd be like, yes. But, like, she was never... out there with that, like
Yeah.
saying, oh yeah, it's because of this. It was more like, oh, you know, I need to check to confirm to myself that this is the reason. And then there was that one time when we got the kids Tamagotchis for Christmas, and then they weren't taking care of their Tamagotchis, and one of their Tamagotchis died, and I had a full-blown meltdown about it because
I feel like I remember this.
yeah, I couldn't handle it. And they were like, all of them, like Grant was like, whoa, like, you know, are you okay?
This is some trauma.
It's the
Seriously.
weirdest things that get to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, I don't know why that was a trigger for me, but we gave away those Tamagotchis pretty damn fast because I was like,
No
I
more
can't deal
Tamagotchis
with
in
that.
this house.
Yeah, I could not deal with that. But it was, yeah, something that took me by surprise was like, well, why? This is a, you know, a kid's toy, but I am not okay
Yeah.
after hearing that song that plays. Like, oh.
It plays a song.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I wouldn't say it's funeral music, but like it has this little song that announces that your Tamagotchi's dead, and then it shows a Tamagotchi with wings.
Yo.
Bro, it was not okay. This is like 2 days
Stuff
after
has evolved
Christmas.
since I had a Tamagotchi. My gosh.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, that is kind of okay. I kind of get it now.
That was fucking
like-
triggering for me.
The triggering of that, yeah.
Trigger warning: Tamagotchis may die and cause permanent trauma.
Yeah.
May cause severe distress. Not for adults with PTSD. Thank you.
Silas is never allowed to have a Tamagotchi at my house now.
Oh, let's just start calling them Traumagotchis.
Tamagotchi. But also that Tamagotchi can stay at his dad's.
Yep. None of that at home.
That's a no from me.
After my reaction, like Raiden was, because I think it was Tori's that had died, but Raiden like doesn't want any Tamagotchis. He's straight up. He was probably a little bit traumatized from seeing me react like that, because he was like, "Whoa, like mom feels really big about this." Like he was so stressed about taking care of his Tamagotchi and keeping it alive that it became a point of like. It was literally for like a day, and he was like, I can't do this, mama. And I was like, that's okay, we're getting rid of
Parenthood
them.
was too much for him.
Yeah, it was too real, too fast.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? This is a lot of work.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready to be a dad.
No.
No.
May he carry that through his teenage years.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my. I mean,
Oh, but to answer your question, I think your initial question was like, how are the feelings now a year later? Grief will always still be there. But it's feeling like I can share it. Like I remember when I opened up to you and said like, Sarah, I'm really struggling because I feel like I can't, that I'm not entitled to feeling this way. And you were like, dude, like you are, like you get it. You're a mom. You feel for other moms. Like you saw the struggle Cass went through. It's okay. And then I ended up messaging Cass afterwards just to
You
kind
did
of
tell
open
me at one
up.
point how you felt like that, and I was like, man, like, do not feel that way, because yeah, like I said, even the nurses probably feel that way, and just being there alone is enough for you to feel that way. It doesn't matter how close we were, if we were close at all, or you were a stranger walking by. Like, it's a lot still to carry. So,
But once I was able to kind of like share it and be like, and feel accepted and like validated that like, hey, you are allowed to feel as deeply as you do, that we started having more conversations about it.
yeah.
And as the conversations kept happening and as time went on, it feels okay now to, it's not okay that he's not here, but it feels okay to share this pain with you guys in that way.
so at least it's a little bit of a release. Well, relief.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And like you said, I feel we're all much closer now. I mean, you and I were already very close, but I feel that like, especially you and I, our relationship has gotten that much tighter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, the bonded by our trauma in a way, like brought us together. And
Yeah.
I think I like kind of touched on that in my poem that I wrote for him too,
Yeah.
was how the pain, it didn't go away with time, but it turned into threads that we all shared instead.
Yeah.
So I would hope that no matter what would have happened, that we would have gotten closer anyways, because we would have
I think
had,
just in a different way.
yeah, our littles to kind of be like, yo, we are going through the thick of it, but we did in a different way anyways. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm grateful
Still
for
the thick
that.
of it, just a different type of thick of it.
Yeah.
Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
What was it like for you telling people about the situation? Like opening up or sharing it on your social media? Like,
I didn't share it on my social
Yeah.
media for,
a while, right?
I don't even know if I technically shared it up until his 1 year.
Yeah, I think you might have actually at one point. I feel like I remember seeing at least like the picture of you holding him.
Yes, I think I posted that on my story.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is temporary.
But we've also like
I
tagged
shared
you
other things
in a
like
lot of things,
him.
and you've shared things too. So have you gotten any like?
Reactions or feedback?
Yeah.
Well, like I had a couple friends know that I knew that I was taking you to the hospital, or that like that, you know, they knew that you were pregnant and expecting, and opening up to them and telling them that like he didn't make it was, it was like not even a sense of relief, because they didn't understand obviously what we had just gone through.
Yeah.
But it felt like, you know, I was like, I don't want this to just be something that they go telling other people that they know that this happened to their friend, that, you know, she was with her friend. And I'm like, I don't want this to be another story that people will just spin to talk about things
Yeah.
or spread just for the hell of talking.
Yeah.
So it was
It's almost like gossip, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, this literally changed my fucking life.
Yeah.
Changed all of our lives. And I was like, I felt icky.
I get that.
Telling my mom, she was like the first person that I was able to confide in, before I had talked to you guys. She was the one who actually encouraged me to talk to you guys about it, because she realized and could see how hard I was struggling. And she was like, Hailey, like, you know what, I think you need help. I think you need to go see a therapist. And when she said that, I was like, okay, maybe this is like something that I should. Yeah, telling others. I didn't tell my family until like for a couple months. I think I told like my sister-in-law, Sid, pretty soon, because I feel very close to Sid, and she's a very compassionate person.
Sid is also a nurse.
Yeah, she's a nurse. She worked at CHIO, so it's like she was around sick babies and babies in all sorts of conditions all the time, taking care of them. So I felt like, you know, if anyone can kind of share in the grief of seeing a kid in
How
that,
heavy it is.
yeah, that it would be her. And yeah, I was able to talk to her a little bit about it, but I didn't tell the majority of my family until I felt like I was okay even talking about it out loud.
Yeah.
And that was like after months. So
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because with you guys, I'm so used to talking about it, but then a lot of other times, the other people, I feel like it's just instant breakdown as soon as I start to talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or it's like, yeah, how do I protect this other person's peace
Yeah.
by not speaking about it? Or like, how I get that it's hard for people to hear, but it's like, imagine having to live through that.
Yes, I was going to say, I've said this in past episodes. I'll say it again. If it's uncomfortable for you to hear it, to talk about it, to bring it up to me, to ask me about it, imagine how uncomfortable I feel having to deal with it every day.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, I'm this far into my grieving journey and I carry it better than I used to, but it's still so uncomfortable to have to live with, right?
Yeah.
And so, sure, you're uncomfortable for the 5-minute conversation we're having, but then you get to forget about it after. So
exactly, that's something that it's like, okay, you are able to leave this conversation behind you and maybe remember it at another time, but it's like, that is the life you're living.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just, I don't know. I also don't want to not talk about him because I don't want to act like he wasn't real. So yeah, people ask, I'm pretty open about it, or people ask how many kids I have, and I straight up say 2. And then when they ask how old they are, then I'm honest about that too, except for that one cab driver, if you guys remember that.
I literally thought of him when I was talking, like, when I was thinking of the conversations, how they can leave behind, I was like, the cab driver.
Akamaru.
Yeah. No, that poor cab driver, it just, I don't know, in that moment, I was like, you know what, I cannot right now.
Yeah.
But up until then, and since then, no matter how hard or uncomfortable, I've been open about it.
That was, like, you came to us afterwards being like, yo, I feel guilty.
Not saying anything.
Yeah.
So, I kind of just acted like he was still alive, and I told him basically how old he would have been at that time.
Yeah.
And
then I just kind of went with it. So yeah, I feel guilty for like lying, but I would also feel guilty for...
Was it a lie though, or...
I guess kind of, because he wasn't actually that age, because he passed away. So
yeah, I think he had said like he's 3 months old or 4 months old or something.
But at the same time, if I didn't say anything at all, I'd feel guilty for not mentioning him. So
yeah,
it was almost like the lesser of two evils, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think after that too, that was kind of a point for you to be like, oh, I didn't like how that went down.
Yeah.
So going forward, I am going to be transparent.
Go back to just saying it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think with that, it ends the episode.
Yeah. We touched on a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot to digest and go through, so
yeah,
you're gonna have a lot
of editing. It's also a bit of a heavy episode, so you guys got to see me cry.
Yeah.
That's my one and done. It's not happening again.
Hailey did not cry as much as I thought she would.
No, she like almost got there, and
then I was very close.
But
I told myself I have to be brave.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that touches on everything for this episode, but Hailey will be back with us in a few.
They can't keep me away.
No.
She's hooked now. It's like getting tattoos. She's coming back for more, guys.
Hell yeah. Next time, actually nobody's even seen my tattoos. I was going to say next time I'm here, I'll have different tattoos, but never mind.
Next time you can come half naked and we can show them off.
Hell yeah.
Just me with my little virgin arms.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, we know you have one on your arm still.
One tiny little...
Compared to our, like, full sleeve situations.
That's true.
I need to get working on it. And I'm not telling Cam.
Well, side note on that, we all have a matching tattoo from her husband.
Yes.
And... you know what? I wouldn't change them.
No, I love them.
Yeah, I love it.
Sarah, I mean, yours could use a little more filling.
Yeah, it could be finished.
Yeah.
Mine was his first tattoo on human skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine was the second, I think.
Yeah.
And literally mine was the third. And I was
so by the time he got to you, it was like, I can do this.
Yeah, except he didn't have the right freaking cartridge, dude. He had one of those flatline ones. You guys had like it was like a 3-round needle.
I didn't even...
He literally had a shading needle for mine and was like, well, we're going to do it. And I was like,
well,
I'm
we're
down.
Gonna do it.
Yeah, literally. So he made do, and it turned out pretty damn decent for that.
Okay.
Well, at least two of you succeeded.
At least yours is pretty hidden.
Yeah. I still think it's super cute. There was a day where V was in the shower and I didn't know, but she had gotten like this little tattoo package and she had one. It was 3 hearts and she put it in the exact same spot that I have mine.
Oh my gosh.
And so when I saw it, I was like, lift your arm up for a second. And I was like, that is the sweetest thing ever. Just so like she could kind of be included in with us.
Yeah.
So.
And wasn't it V's hearts that we got tattooed on us?
Did she draw them?
Yeah, she drew them.
So she is part of it.
Yeah.
I love that.
She
So
drew
cute.
the little hearts, Cam tattooed them, and we all have them.
Yeah.
And we all have a different heart
Filled in.
drawn in. So I have the first one because I'm the oldest, and then
I've got the middle.
yeah.
We're
And then
really
I
only,
have the
what,
third.
like 2 weeks apart.
Yeah, literally. Like
18
17
days.
No,
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait.
Was your birthday the 28th?
I'm the 27th.
27th. 17
Yeah,
days.
so
Yeah.
17 days.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to trying to finish this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Third
Thanks for
attempt,
having me,
guys. We got
Third
this.
time. We got this. So thank you everybody for joining us. Please remember, check our socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We got all the socials. All the
YouTube.
socials.
Check our link tree. You'll find it
Like
all.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
So yeah, follow along with us and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.